Okay, so yesterday I was talking about the joins, and I also said that I was going to put all those tails in towards the blue side of these shields, and so I did. You can see that these tails are on the blue side. These tails are on the blue side. So I'm going to pick up these weavers, the blue weavers, that are part of the shield, and I'm going to go back and forth, bringing them in one warp each time I weave a row. So I'm going to two-strand twine across these shields, and it's a simple two-strand that with the same color, and I'm going to enclose two warp ends. So here I'm going to go in one warp. See, this is the warp where I gathered all the tails, and this is one in from that area. So I'm going to do what I like to call the naaxiin turn. This back one is weaving. I was weaving in this direction, so I'm calling this one the back one. It goes over the front one, behind two warps, and now I'm heading towards the left weaving. I was looking at my videos and I noticed that I'm dealing with the mirror images. So when I say left, it appears that I'm going right when it comes to the video, but I hope that you can adjust your thinking with that consideration. Okay, so I'm drawing the inner T of that. The shield, the copper shield, has raised portions when they're pounded out and shaped for the prestigious tinna and copper shield. They have a raised area going across and down. So these black three strands are forming that design. So the top goes to the left and to the right and drops. So now I'm going to pick it up when I weave across. So I'm weaving in and including that three-strand tail with a twine. Now I'm going to come here, and I had already turned one in the previous row, so now I'm going to go here and I'm going to turn. So each row I'm coming in one warp. Now I did that the last weave, so I'm not going to include that there. If you do that too often, if these straight lines get switched every row, then they can not be as straight as they could be. So I don't pick them up every row. So I'm going to come here, and I see where I turned the last time. So I'm going to turn in one warp in and turn and weave by this again. And then I'm going to grab these last two warps and I'm going to turn. And you can see the steps in. So again, I want to keep the vertical three-strand going. So I'm going to take the top, left, right, and down. And in the next group, the next two warps, I'm going to include that. And then go further over here. I turned here last time, so I'm going to turn one in from the previous time. And I'm not going to do the switch action, but sometimes people include these with, instead of flipping them up, they keep them down. So it doesn't matter which way you do that. So and let's do a switch here. But I'm going to be eliminating them pretty soon. So what I want to do is I'll take the top one, left, right, and then I'm just going to leave it down, and I'm going to leave the previous tail down too. So now there's just one up there. So I'm eliminating one of those, well, two of those tails. So, and then I switch. Let me bring that third tail down. And there I go. Now, sometimes you'll have an uneven number of warps. The ideal is that you don't. But with this design, I've ended up with uneven warps. So sometimes I have more on one side, more warps on one side, and more warps on the other side. But it all works out. So these weavers, I'm through with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them to the back. And those are going to get needled